What's going on, world? It's your man Pat Seasall LLC, mobile mechanic and roadside services. Working out of the Civic today, and I'm working on this beautiful 2014 Kia Optima. Customer's telling me that it's been overheating, and she got a new water pump put on, a new radiator put in. System has been flushed. So this is our last effort, and I already come to the conclusion, but I figured I would share this with you guys, and we're gonna get into it right after the intro. So I actually bought this from O'Reilly's because I couldn't find one anywhere else locally, and I got tired of renting one. So this is a block tester, all right, and what you have to buy this fluid right here. It's combustion leak detection or indication fluid, and just like the bottle says, basically it comes out blue. You fill it to a little line right there in the picture, and then you squeeze it with this pump, and if it turns yellow, that tells you what it is. So this says if combustion gases are present in the cooling system, the indicating fluid will change from blue to yellow in color. If the indication remains blue after testing is leaking properly, it's not indication that there's nothing leaking inside of the combustion chamber. This is the test that I tried to do on that Mercury Cougar, but I couldn't get it to run. You needed to be at operating temperature. You also need it to be flowing. So right now it is not overheating according to that gauge. So I hooked up my handy dandy scan tool and realized that my temperature is sitting at a cool 213 degrees. Thermostat, I believe, opened at about 190 or 195 because I saw the temperature drop drastically. So just to show you guys how to do this, and I already, like I said, I already came to the conclusion. I don't want to spoiler alert, but it's about to be when I show you this next part. This is our block tester, and you see the color of that fluid. So what you do is put the block tester in. You normally would go directly on the radiator, but since this has an expansion valve, which most newer vehicles do, you're gonna go straight from the top. You fill it to that level right there. This is the pump it comes with, and you pump it. Apply pressure downwards too, because you don't want it to be leaking right there. But this is the thing, this is blue, like this cap when I first put it in. That's the color of the fluid. And that stuff is pretty expensive, so I'm not gonna put any more in. There's no need to do any more testing. Try to get to a background where it should make sense. But as you can see, if we pit this against the sky is blue with white in it, and this is clearly yellow. But if you saw how blue this fluid was, you would understand that like the first pull, it turned yellow, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. So I've been revving it at 4 grand to get it to do that. So I wanted it to actually overheat on me. It did not. Oh, this is good. This is what that color of that fluid is. That's how blue it is. It's light and tint there, but when you put it inside of here, it comes out a lot heavier. So after all that, what has ended up happening is the lady done blew a head gasket. It sucks because it's a brand new vehicle, basically. Brand new in my eyes. This is a 6-year-old, 7-year-old car. Now it's 2021. But that's how you do a block test. And I guess I'll have to make a video on how you deliver the bad news. But it's not overheating as according to the gauge, but according to my gauge here, this should be at like 180 to 185, and it is merely chilling at 210 to 215, indicating that it's definitely overheating, and it definitely has a blown head gasket. Another thing that you would normally check for to see like if you had a blown head gasket, for instance, would be in the oil. Sometimes it mixed, and this one it didn't, but I'm gonna show you another thing that it did do. So you also complaining that it was losing fluid, but that's the reason why. It's still not overheating. Now, granted, the car is jacked up, it's tilted. It isn't tilted to the point the fans are still on, although they're running kind of slow. Where'd I put that rag? Had a rag. I'm trying to remember where I put it. Probably ain't got no extra shop rags on me. It's my setup, by the way. Quick, easy, throw my tools in. You would think, Pat, why don't you just drive one of the trucks? It ain't necessary. And man, this thing, it literally gets like 30 something miles to the gallon. Debating on turbocharging it. I was supposed to be selling it like any other and every other vehicle that I have, but after driving it for a while, trying to work out all the bugs, kind of like it. I've always been a Honda guy, even though I talked a lot of trash about them for a long time. So what we're gonna do is set this here and check the oil. Smell it. Sometimes if it's bad, this will be discolored, and this vent is not, and it isn't even diluted heavily. But another thing I want you guys to note right now is that the coolant reservoir, you probably can't see it. Yeah, you can't see those bubbles. It's not supposed to be doing that, even if this is open. Actually, it'd be doing it worse if that was closed from the beginning. So even if there was air out of the system, even if the heater core was not, if they put new heater core hoses on it too, you can see right there. And that's a leaky valve cover. Even if we did all the other tests, it's pretty much conclusive at this point. That's exactly what's going on. And you know, bubbling radiator fluid out of the reservoir or the radiator, miscolor or discoloration coming out of the oil dipstick, excessive blow by crankcase pressure coming out can also indicate it. White smoke coming out the exhaust can indicate a bad or a coolant issue. I can't think, there's one more other thing, but it doesn't even matter. If you get a block tester, it'll make your life easier because it's simple. You put it in there. Also I was trying to do a radiator pressure test to build up pressure. I did not have a cap that would fit, so I could build up the pressure to the adequate pressure to be able to make it happen. Not necessary either. It sucks, so I'm about to go and break this news and go from there. But if you guys have any questions or concerns, just want to put this out there: how you check a head gasket for blowing, how to use a block tester, and how do you verify for sure that you got either a blown head gasket is either this or another thing. Like I say, you could put a radiator pressure cap on there and build up pressure and see if you see any leaks. If it's not, if it's the gauge is still holding steady, then there's no leaks present. If it's not, then you can find out where the leak is at, whether it be externally, you know, hose or gasket like intake manifold gasket, or it be internal like a head gasket, for instance. But you'll see it because it'll be present somewhere. Like, share, subscribe. Any questions or comments, leave them down below. Visit me at SeasallAuto.com for any roadside assistance information needed. And until next time, mi gente, be pro mundo beneficio siempre. Peace.